Now we are to the final division in football, the AFC South overview. We're going to start off with the Colts. And they should have Peyton Manning. But I'm saying this is the year he had his injury, so I'm going to keep him injured. So Brady Quinn and maybe Tyrod Taylor are going to be the quarterbacks here for the Colts. I think this team is good enough that they might be able to play themselves out of the worst record. I don't think they're as bad as the real Colts were this year, with Kerry Collins and Curtis Painter. They do have Chris Johnson here with Leon Washington, so they have a running game. Their O-line with Britton, Breezel, Zuta, Hornberger, and Vernon Carey is modest. They're not great, but they're okay. Reggie Wayne, the veteran, has been aging. I mean, again, some of these guys, they age, but they're not he's still decent, still a reliable target. Victor Cruz, the better option. Leonard Hankerson, PJ Sam, and Torrey Gurley. And then Jeremy Shockey and Fred Davis being their tight ends. So Quinn has some options, and Quinn could win. He could. The Colts might not be out of it. Bill Cowher trying to get his Super Bowl because he's never gotten one. We'll see if he can do it without Manning. Then we have Antonio Johnson, Hill, Castillo, Freeney. So that's a good front seven there, even with Witherspoon, DeQuell Jackson, Cunningham. Weak link there is Cunningham. I probably could put Kerrigan at left outside linebacker too, if I really wanted to give him the start, and I might actually do that. But then we have on corners, Collinoff, Washington, Terrell Brown, Spivey, Gerald Wilson, and Brandon Merriweather. Merriweather is the second best safety in the league. So they have a defense that can protect them, can give me a hard time when I'm on offense. And so even though they don't have Manning elevating them, I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the league. So then you got Mike Nugent and Todd Sauerbrunn. So I'll have to see how the Colts actually do this year. So they might not move on from Manning, because why would you if Manning is able to come back? Even though they might have, I could say that they're too worried about his neck and they're going to take their chances with someone new, and maybe I could trade for somebody. And I haven't thought that through yet, because they could go for like Matt Ryan or a Phillip Rivers, someone like that who has not been doing well with the team they're on, or even Matthew Stafford. If Matthew Stafford in Green Bay has another bad year, the Colts could decide, well, it's just because Green Bay sucks. It's not because of Stafford. So a lot of things to think about with the Colts. Then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, led by David Carr, who's actually good in this league. Brian Brom and Zach Robinson. They did fix their running back. They had Marion Barber, who ran well for them when he was running for them. But they did draft DeMarco Murray, who's going to be the lead back heading into this year. As you can see, he was 1,100 yards his first year, 12 touchdowns, and that was only as like a 63, 65 overall. He went down a little bit last year, and they just need to get someone with more explosiveness there. We have Hakeem Nicks, Limas Swede, Dwayne Jarrett, Harry Douglas, Riley Cooper, not good. Dominic Byrd, Rosario, and Hill, also not good. So really weak team all around. It's really David Carr elevating them, and he has. We got Jason Smith, the one bust right tackle, Finoti, Marquise Pouncey, Andrews. I say that's Sean Andrews? Stacey Andrews, right. I was like, Sean Andrews is with the Ravens. And then we have Clabo. On defense, they get a little bit better because they have Henderson, Chris Long, Tapp, and Marks. These two really the keys. Patrick Willis, the anchor of this defense, with Darryl Smith and Ellison in support. Donta Robinson, Patrick Robinson. We have Lee and Arrington. But also we have, I think that's Jason Allen and Smith as safeties. Smith, they're kind of the weak link there. But a solid defense. They have a solid cornerback in Robinson, solid middle linebacker who's a superstar, X Factor, Willis. And then their pass rush is solid with Tapp and Long with Henderson in the middle. And then you have Folk and Hansen. So they really could be a potential playoff team based off of this division. This is going to be a weak division. And that's also, because they're weak, I think the Colts have a shot. I don't think it's going to be a big shot, though. We see the Texans now. Let's just say my expectations for them are quite low. They, I think, had the third pick in the draft. And they have the absolute wonder Washington prospect, Jake Locker. Yes, that's a 53 overall quarterback I'm starting with. Over Matt Flynn here in Houston. They have Reggie Williams. They have Louis Murphy, Young, easily. Matt Jones. Not many options to throw to. So not only is Locker screwed because he sucks, he's also surrounded by terrible talent. Now, CJ Spiller is going to be their gem, their only real option. They have Cedric Benson as well as Hunter, but really it's going to be Spiller, who was very good last year, but with injuries that challenged him. Dennis Pitta is a good tight end, but he's not that great overall. We see Finley and Gordon. O-line, they got Chirless, Grove, Garrard, Levitri, and Harrimans. So not great, but not terrible either. And on defense, we've got Sean Ellis and Ratliff and Geathers. D'Amico Ryans and Suggs, they're stars on defense. They got Josh Wilson and Adam Jones on cornerback with Jarrett Bush. We got Herring, Gokong on the other side of the linebackers. Luis Delmas and Mike Doss. Doss is their superstar on this team. But again, for some reason, I don't have a great feeling about this Texans defense. I mean, Suggs and Ryans are good. Doss is good. They got decent corners. But I don't expect much from them, especially with Locker. And you see Brown and Misthay. So here we see the Colts not looking too bad because Brady Quinn's better than Jake Locker. And Brady Quinn is on a better team than Jake Locker is. And now we get to the Titans. Now, this has been a weird team because in the first 2 seasons with Pep Hamilton, they made the playoffs with Kevin O'Connell. He's not highly rated. Has not done great in the playoffs, but he has gotten them there. They did get Josh Freeman in a trade. And now you look at that. Those are pretty good stats. I mean, it's hard to move on from him, but he's not that talented. He's not making the big plays in the playoffs. They do have Jonathan Stewart, who's their main running back, but he's out right now. So there's Roy Helu, Calhoun, and Jamal Lord, who's been I got a running back with the 49ers I really liked. He's not highly overall, but he sticks around. But they have Greg Jennings. They had Anquan Bolden, but traded him. They got Matt Slater, who's picking up the slack. Really, it's Pierre Garçon, who's now the third man. There's Moore and Iglesias and Orton. Jermaine Gresham, the guy last year. We got Stevens and Williams. They got Ugo, and really, Ugo's younger than Williams. I think that's why I have him starting. Michael Orr is the left tackle. He's a Tennessee person, so I thought Tennessee was a good pick. Danny Watkins is their first-round pick, and as you can see, he's not going to probably pan out too well. Ryan Khalil and Gandy. As for their defense, they have Bowen, Soliar, yawn, hear that yawn. Paul Soliari, and then Muhammad Wilkerson, Spears. They got a lot of talent up here in the front. I mean, at least talent that has potential. Ninkovich and Follett are the weaknesses on their linebackers, but Sean Lee and Spencer, superstars in that linebacking core. They have D'Angelo Hall, Carlos Rogers, or maybe Charles Rogers, McDonald, Werner, Cox. They got Patrick Chung as well as Gaddis. And on special teams, they're working with Lindell and Sander. So yeah, this division's not good. And I'm not going to sell the Colts out yet just because Manning's not there. Honestly, I think it might be Jacksonville, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Houston. And with that said, I mean, really, any of this could be up in the air. I have very low hopes for Texans. I gave them a 4-win projection. I don't think they're going to be great. But let me know what you think in the chat, in the comments. Like the video. Thanks for watching and looking forward to this upcoming season.